Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. What is up, y'all? It is line to gain week 9 Thursday night football, and boy, is it a hot one.
This many.
It's muy caliente, as some would say.
Yeah. It's You guys think it's gonna be a good game tonight?
I do.
I think it might be. I think it actually might be, and I'm really looking forward to finding out.
I mean, all of the Thursday night games have been excellent to this point. I can't really think of one that was like bad or even mediocre.
They've been one of the better primetime lineups this year so far. I think we said that last week too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, tonight we're going to be doing our Week 9 pick, and we'll be going over the Week 8 picks. We had some changes in the standings after a very good week and a not so great week, and a right on par with the excellent picks that we've been doing all year. So, you guys want to get into that?
Mountains are blue, so I'm ready.
Cheers. My can is blue.
Sounds your way.
All right. First game of the week. Obviously a Thursday night game. Packers, Cardinals. Corey and Todd went astray. Came in strong with the Packers' choice and Aaron Rodgers. And they probably should not have won that game.
Big shout out to Josh and Amber for liking the video. Welcome, guys. Hope you guys have a good night.
No, what do you guys think about the last play, AJ Green? Did we talk about this already?
In our text thread, we did.
Okay. I didn't know if we talked about it on here yet.
It's been a long time since I've seen AJ Green make a blunder like that. I think it was like 2015 or 16, the last time I remember Dalton throwing directly at him, and AJ Green was 7-yard stare facing the other direction, which is exactly what happened in the end zone.
He thought that was a run play. He had to.
Yeah, there's no other explanation other than that.
He misheard the play call.
Nobody just stands in the end zone.
No.
That's just that doesn't happen. Everybody's a ball hawk in the NFL. You want the ball, except for AJ Green when the game's on the line.
Yeah, the only reason he didn't look is because he was 100% sure that ball was not coming his way.
Right.
He thought Chase Edmonds was running that ball to the other side of the field because he wasn't even blocking.
Yeah, he was kind of.
No, he was just kind of standing in his way.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're talking late night dinner plans after the game.
Yeah.
Real quick, just an interesting little fun fact totem about that. Prior to that, they have I don't know if it's audio or rather lip reading of DeAndre Hopkins going up to Kyler and talking about that corner. I can't remember that corner off the top of my head, but remembering or him saying to Kyler, like, hit that back shoulder. He's scared. He's not going to be up pressing on that. He's backed off all night. Hit that back shoulder. Well, Kyler threw that back shoulder. AJ wasn't ready, and it was a pick.
Yeah, I mean, it was a perfect 100% a touchdown. There was no way that ball gets picked off if he's looking.
Throw. Yeah, it was a great.
I think Kyler's face says it all on the sidelines afterwards. Just a complete, that's a look of pure defeat. And AJ Green just standing on the sidelines like, I'll get him next time. It's all right.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Josh Wheeler's got his Colts going tonight. We'll get to let's go ahead and do that pick right now before we get into the because this game's getting ready to kick off. So, Todd, what is your synopsis for Jets Colts? We're gonna put you on the spot first.
So, after a huge win beating the leading AFC North at that point in time, Cincinnati Bengals for the Jets, led by first career start non-rookie Mike Davis.
Hilltopper.
Mike White.
Davis. Mike White. Mike White. Sorry. Yes, former Hilltopper. They're all mixed up. Daddy Longneck, Mike White, Mike Davis, running back. They're all the same right now. But I still like the Colts at home. They played, even though they lost to Tennessee, they played that game down to the wire. And I think if they play tonight like they played against Tennessee on Sunday, I think it's close. I think we've talked about it. It's going to be a good game, but I think the Colts sneak it out. I think Colts by 6. That's my guess.
Mr. James.
Now that you're saying it's by 6, I want to take a look at the spread here and give you some insight there. Yeah, I kind of echo the same things. The only other thing that I'll point out is that, or add on rather, is that the Colts have been improving pretty much every single week. They keep playing better. The level of competition's a lot closer, and Michael Pittman Jr. is becoming a star in this league very quickly. So, Josh, I know you had some concerns about him. Josh Wheeler, I'm talking to you. And I think at the beginning of the year, you made a comment like Michael Pittman's the only guy we got or something like that. And it's working out so far. So, by the way, spread is Colts minus 10.5.
Wow.
So I heard this comment earlier somewhere in the Twitterverse. I'm going to echo it. Should Carson Wentz have a 10-point spread against anyone? Like, even if it's like a high school
Never.
team? I don't think so.
Nah.
Never. You never give that man that large of a spread. He never covers it.
That said, I still have the Colts winning tonight, just like Todd.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's a stop for Jonathan Taylor. That man is just having an incredible season. And he's looked unstoppable every week for the last 4 or 5 weeks. I mean, the man just can't be tackled. So I've got the Colts in this one. We'll find out if Mike White's the real deal tonight, though. So I guess that's what I'm most looking forward to in this game, is to see if he can actually repeat what he did.
So, I mean, if we go tit for tat, technically the Bengals defense was statistically better than the Colts defense. And Mike White carved them up like Thanksgiving turkey. So,
honestly, I mean, are we gonna? I guess we'll cover this game in a little bit when we get to it in the pick. So I'll save it for them.
All right, we'll save it for a little bit. We got our picks in. Let's head back to last week real quick so we can get through that and get to our picks for this week. Next game on the board, we all three got wrong. What are we calling them? Fraudulent enemy number one.
Fraudulent enemy number one.
Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
Actually pulled one out against the Falcons.
They did.
You know, I don't know how much of that impact that Matt Ryan had in his hand getting completely ripped open by a cleat.
Whoa!
Did you guys see that?
That was insane.
Oh my God, so much blood.
If they would have won, that would have been bloody sock-esque.
Oh yeah,
right. Yeah, we're talking. Matt Ryan's hand was so exposed, like ligaments were exposed in his hand. It was disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, you saw the guy step on. I mean, it was just all his weight, just right in his hand.
Yeah, the guy that stepped on him was 295 pounds. There's got to be some puncture wounds involved there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Josh with a comment here. Curious your thoughts. He said Carson Wentz hasn't proved himself to me yet.
Wow, really? I think him at the helm this year has been. I mean, outside of a couple weeks of getting acclimated to the offense, I think he's done well. In fact, I would even venture, or I could even say that he's done good. Which is, it's been a long time since we said, "Wow, Carson Wentz is doing really good."
Right.
So you just downgraded proper grammar, but it's a bigger compliment, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of doing well, doing good.
Okay, you caught me. That's what I was going for.
And I'll tell you what,
I was trying to do a little idiom there.
If he goes from good to okay, I'm gonna be blown away.
Yeah, I mean, he was good, and now I'm ready to say he's okay. And Mike White starting off on the right foot here with a 11-yard completion to former Bengal Tyler Kroft.
But he was also he was very involved Sunday.
Yeah,
Kroft.
Hey, what's a rookie or backup quarterback's best friend? We said it multiple times.
Tight end.
Absolutely.
All day long. I'll tell you what I was most disappointed about in that Falcons-Panthers game, though, was the fact that Matt Ryan went out and it cost me my DraftKings lineup.
Oh,
I finished second.
You did well.
I finished second, but I won money in a different DraftKings thing, so I only ended up losing $2 on the day, so I wasn't upset.
So if you guys are tuning in, what Bobby's talking about is I'll share on the page every Sunday a good friend of the show, Nathan Ducklow, good friend of mine, longtime life friend. He hosts a daily fantasy competition every Sunday. He actually has one going right now. I should have shared it for tonight. He does them for the Thursday night games, does them for all of Sunday, and then as well the Monday night games. So I've been sharing the Sunday night ones on the Line of Game page if you're interested in daily fantasy. Sometimes he does top 2 win, take money. Bobby was unfortunately in one where it was winner takes all.
Yeah, that sucks. I wish I would have gotten some dollars out of that
You
one.
would've won
I had a
that,
good
yeah.
lineup.
like $100.
Yeah,
or
it
something?
sucks.
That's the best I've ever done on DraftKings, and I finished second. I was upset. So
Another first down for the Jets here as they coming out on this opening drive. Mike White's looking crisp again. So
you go get him, Mike White.
To Jamison Crowder. I actually started Jamison Crowder in a league this week too.
Wow.
Hey, he's a big consistent.
He's a great target when he's healthy. He's a good target when he's healthy. Per top.
Yeah, especially with no Corey Davis.
I mean, yeah, Corey Davis is out, so you're looking at least 9 points, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Next game on the board, we had a really, really sad thing happen in this game. Titans Colts, Derrick Henry, foot
They're
injury,
getting frisky again.
potentially out for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, I mean,
if you have Derrick Henry on your fantasy team, you just cringed when that happened last week.
Yeah, the only time that Derrick Henry will be back is if they're in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah, which absolutely sucks. I mean, we've talked about it a few times. Everyone else has been talking about it in the national media. Derrick Henry on pace for a career, if not record-setting pace this season in terms of rushing yards. So really, really unfortunate. And not only that, I mean, that's the Titans' backbone in terms of offensive production. It runs through him as it should. Titans picking up Adrian Peterson, though. I'm interested. He looks good. He looks healthy.
Have you guys seen that meme with him and Julio Jones next to each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
it's
a
hilarious.
meme going around that says Adrian Peterson and Julio Jones as teammates wish this was 2012 and not 2021.
Right.
Could you imagine?
Oh my God. This actually tonight is the anniversary of him setting the single season rushing record.
Yep.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah. 296.
That's awesome, man. What an absolute animal he was in his prime. One of the best. Who do you think is better? Derrick Henry or AP? Prime.
Oh, wow.
Prime AP, prime Derrick Henry.
AP.
Yeah. I don't think I can go against Adrian Peterson.
He's one of my favorite running backs of all time.
Yeah, he was just
There's proof in the pudding that that boy was
when I'm bored, I will just sit there and watch Oklahoma Adrian Peterson highlights.
The most disrespectful thing that I ever saw happen against my team when he ran over William Gay, stepped on him, and then kept running. And at that point, even just as a football fan, your jaw's on the floor. You're just like, how?
Right. I think it's funny because Corey, you brought up that you watched AP videos when he was at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I used to do the same thing for Trent Richardson. Like when he was in college, that dude was unstoppable.
What a disappointment.
I think it was just lack of effort on his part. He just didn't have didn't have the mental tenacity to be an NFL player. Yeah, but God, when he was in college, it was uncomfortable to watch him get in the open field with a defensive back and just mull him over. And he just coasts. It just always looked like that he was on autopilot.
Yeah. No, I mean, the Colts made a great pick there. I mean, if he would have just given anything.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, you don't discredit that.
Yeah. No, I mean that wasn't a bad draft pick. It's just lack of effort there. Maybe it was coaching. I don't know, but I mean I think it has to do with just personal will and wanting to be great.
Yeah.
Next game on the board, we had the Bills-Dolphins. Bills took care of business at home, as we all thought they would. Final score of that game, 26-11. Weird score. I
hung with them for a little bit there.
Yeah,
I'd say it
was close for a little bit, and then the Bills did what they needed to do and pulled away.
I think there was a point in time where Josh Allen had more rushing yards than passing yards too during that game.
Did he?
I saw probably the funniest thing today in regards to the whole Tua situation. It was like they're talking to the Dolphins about, all right, Tua, is he the guy? First of all, I will echo some other points that I've seen out there that the Dolphins have mishandled Tua so badly. Let me just put that out there. They have absolutely screwed this kid over so hard. And I just want to point that out because all of the talk before that draft, Joe Burrow needs to find a way to get to the Dolphins. The Bengals are a quarterback hellhole. This is where Bengals, quarterbacks go to die. The Bengals can't manage a quarterback. Da 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 da. I'm like, hello. The Dolphins haven't been fucking relevant since '75. Let me just point that out. Anyway, but I saw something they asked the Dolphins about it. We believe in Tua. We were just simply inquiring. We were simply checking on the availability of Deshaun Watson. That's all we were doing. We were just checking on the availability. And the funny thing that I saw, it said, I believe in my girlfriend. I was simply just checking on Tinder. It was the perfect analogy. It's like, if you believe in
I was just swiping right
doing?
to see if there was anything else out there.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they are still like saying that he is the guy and that they're shopping offers is just absolutely mind-blowing.
Also, Jalen Waddle is the only offensive weapon that they've provided to him as well.
Yeah.
Right? Like he has not, I mean, I guess Gesicki, but like he's not even I don't consider him a top tier tight end. He's just a guy that he has to throw to because everybody else is either always hurt or yeah.
Bruce with a comment here just says logs out of Tinder.
Hey guys, I want to start a new tradition every time Bruce joins the show. What do we say when number 32 would hit a home run at GABP? 1, 2, 3.
Bruce!
Beautiful.
Love it. Bruce, thanks for liking the video as well. You're the man, the myth, the legend, as always. Next game we've got
Can I just point something out real quick?
Yeah.
That was amazing. And the fact that all I had to say when number 32 at GABP is, and you knew exactly what the fuck I was talking about. It's amazing.
We're Cincinnati kids. We know better. We know what we're doing.
Oh man.
All right, next game on the board. We're headed to Cincy for this one. Bengals Jets. What a game.
Not what a game.
It was an entertaining game.
From an entertainment perspective, it was really good. I was disappointed the Bengals lost.
That first half was painful.
I did not catch the end of it. I know that there was a suspect call. Can you guys kind of walk me through that?
Sure, gladly. Essentially, the situation is that it's third and I think 7 to 11 yards, somewhere in that realm. A third and long situation. Bengals basically have the ability to, if they make this stop, they will have, I believe, the 2-minute warning and multiple timeouts left.
Yeah.
For Joe Burrow to work down the field and potentially win the game. Situation is Mike White, quarterback, who was having a great game. I'm not going to take anything away from Mike White. He played great. The Jets, let me just also preface this by saying the Bengals did not deserve to win that football game, regardless of this call. It should never have come down to this call. Nonetheless, this call, in my opinion, affected the outcome of the game. So, Mike White drops back to pass, looks out to the flat, hits a receiver. I don't recall the receiver's name. And then Eli Apple is going to make a tackle. He is already down in his athletic stance to getting ready to make that tackle. If you go frame by frame, you can see that Eli Apple is down, ready to make the tackle, and the receiver then lowers his head down.
It was the running back, Johnson.
Was it Johnson? Okay.
So the penalty was helmet to helmet, I take it?
It was an unnecessary roughness, helmet to helmet penalty, automatic first down for the Jets. The Bengals never saw the football again.
Oh man, that's rough.
And you literally can go frame by frame and see that the defensive player was already established as the low man. The running back, who was a receiver in this situation, lowers to meet him. If anything, this should be a penalty on the receiver. He initiated the helmet to helmet contact, not the defender.
Yeah.
That should have been a 15-yard penalty, which would have been declined by the Bengals, resulting in a 4th and 6, roughly. The Jets would have had to punt back to the Bengals offense had they wanted, unless they went for it on their own 30. Was basically the situation.
Yeah, they wouldn't have gone for that.
Yeah, they wouldn't have gone for it. They would have punted and let the Bengals play. And the Bengals offense at that point started to look pretty good. They had an 11-point lead at one point. The defense gave that lead up, and they lost. But I want to make very clear, the Bengals didn't deserve to win that game. They played like absolute shit from start to finish, pretty much. So, cost me my Survivor League. And Bruce, we love you too, by the way. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's just it was pathetic, honestly. The spacing that they gave, it was almost like they were playing prime. I'm going to say prime Patrick Mahomes, because not this year Patrick Mahomes, but it's almost like they were playing the Chiefs in that they were giving like an 8-yard cushion off the line of scrimmage, playing so deep. It was honestly like a Marvin Lewis defensive scheme is what it was.
Yes, that's what I was watching it with my father-in-law, and like halfway through the second quarter, he's like, "Why are they giving these guys like 6 yards?"
Yeah,
and I said, "I don't know, but every pass, whether it was Barrios, Crowder, or Croft, who again we just talked about, he had a great game last week, had so much room." And especially over the middle of the field, which is ridiculous. That should never be the case.
No.
Yeah. It was honestly like I was watching like Todd Heap just slash the Bengals. Like I honestly just went back in time. I went back in time and I was just like, oh God. Because that's all that was happening. Like back in the the 2000s, that like the Bengals defense, everybody in the league knew, just check it down. Throw 7 yards.
Yep.
They're gonna give it to you all day.
Yep.
All day.
Yeah.
So,
and they made no adjustments either. No adjustments were made.
Couple of things to note. Jackson Carman went down with an injury in his back. I saw that he was day-to-day. He practiced today, full participant, I believe, as well. So good to see him back. Good. He's been playing really, really well as of late, so good to have him back. Trey Hopkins, he's been limited in practice, but that's kind of just a management thing due to the knee injury from last year. He's coming back. Touchdown. Naheem Hines, Colts taking the lead. There you go, Josh.
That was a great cutback.
I didn't actually. Run. All I saw was him doing a backflip in the end zone, which is fucking awesome.
I'm not as far behind as you guys today.
Because he's got that updated.
It's probably the upgraded speeds.
Yeah, there you go.
Now you and I are on the same page, Bobby. We saw that at the same time.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Got those beefy speeds now. I'm not going to have any more issues.
Look, Quentin Nelson out there. Gotta love him back if you're a Colts fan.
Oh my God! If you're a football fan, you love seeing Quentin Nelson in the open field. I could probably run behind Quentin Nelson right now.
Another point another injury update. Chris Evans is day-to-day as well, just managing that hamstring. But other than that, the Bengals remain relatively healthy through 8 weeks of the season, which is phenomenal. They're very fortunate in that aspect. Other than that,
that pretty much wraps up the Bengals Jets. Yeah. We'll see what the Jets do tonight against the Colts. Next game on the board, AFC North matchup again, Steelers Browns. It's a great win for the Steelers.
Good game.
Yeah, I mean, it was not a high scoring game. It was all defense, standard AFC North matchup. I was super excited that they won. The Browns are really hurt right now. They got a lot going on with OBJ in the locker room. What a just terrible human being he is.
Jesus.
Just terrible teammate, man. Just not a professional.
He's a dog shit teammate.
He's selfish. He's all about me, and
it's
really sad to see
from being at LSU for that.
It's so sad to see because the guy is so talented. But super
even
happy.
Jarvis Landry said that he was not his roommate by choice. That is, they were assigned to be roommates.
That's
because everybody made a big deal when he went to Cleveland that, these guys were college roommates. Jarvis Landry was like, well, we played football together, and they typically have football players in a dorm together. So yeah, we were roommates because we both played football. And yeah, I mean, this is nothing that's happening with him shocks me. It's not like going to Cleveland is supposed to make him have better character. He's always had shitty character. That's just what he is. But he's a really athletic wide receiver that can make jaw-dropping plays.
I think he's overrated. Honestly, that's my personal opinion. I think he's overrated. If you look at his stats over the last 5-6 years, they're not that great.
Well, he has to be on the field to acquire stats too,
exactly.
Right? Like he's always off the field.
He's always hurt. Always hurt. I don't know that he's had a complete season since his rookie year.
No.
So
it's one of those things where he could be great if he applied himself and was a better teammate.
We'll just never know.
Real quick comment, if you don't know, do you guys hear about the video that was released by his father, apparently?
No.
Okay, so apparently there's a video, a compilation video of times where Baker didn't throw it to Odell, and it was released by Odell Beckham's father. Now, this video, mind you, is clips after clips after clips of Odell Beckham footage, backed by REM music. Now, I'm going to venture to say that Odell Beckham's probably in his mid-30s, late 20s, somewhere in that range, which would mean his father's probably late 50s at the youngest. I would probably venture to say somewhere in that range, 50s, right? What 50-year-old band do you know that is looping clips together and then dropping sound behind that and then putting that on Twitter, Instagram, or whatever the video was released? I know zero men that in that age frame that are doing that personally.
Right.
The point I'm trying to make is Odell or someone Odell knows made that video and utilized his father's page as a channel to release it. Odell signed off on that video 100%.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
100 million%.
Yeah.
Which is where most of this drama is stemming from.
Yeah. It's just like when Kevin Durant had his fake Twitter account. Exactly. Everybody knew it was Kevin Durant.
And this is the second day in a row now that he has been dismissed from practice. Kevin Stefanski, head coach of the Cleveland Browns, basically told the team, we need to operate as if he's not on the team right now.
Good. That's what he deserves.
Demote him to the practice squad and trade him.
I think that you just
can't trade him.
Yeah,
trade deadline's over.
Yeah.
Just releasing that. I would just release him to prove a point.
Well, that's the thing is you don't release him because then he can go play for somebody else. He could go sign with the Ravens.
Yeah.
Or the Steelers.
That's just me being petty. He would never get signed by the Steelers. There's no way.
It's fun to sit his ass at home and
it's funny.
He would never get signed by the Steelers.
No, no shot.
I just read an article
that said.
I just read an article saying that the Steelers were like, because that was immediately where a lot of Pittsburgh people went, is like, release him, we'll pick him up. And basically a RotoWire writer for the Steelers was like, the Steelers I don't think Tomlin would ever agree to signing him. But also Tomlin wants to win. Yeah, but I think Tomlin also wants to win. But I guess he's been burned by big cases like, Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown.
We've had too much drama with players lately to even entertain that offer.
Speaking not necessarily drama, but offensive rookie of the month for the month of October was Najee Harris.
Yeah.
I mean, what a season he's having.
That's huge.
Yeah, why not give it to a running back that's averaging 3.7 yards a carry when you could give it to a wide receiver that's averaging like 20 yards a catch? I mean, why would you do that?
It's a good point. Jamar Chase had an unbelievable month.
It's whatever. I mean, it's a pointless award in my opinion. It's a cool award when you win it, but at the end of the day, it's like
it's an accolade, right? Yeah,
win.
It's just an accolade to add to the resume for his rookie season.
And one final thing, just on the OBJ, just a couple of potential landing spots that I have in my head before we move on, Bobby. I know you're itching. Is the Lions, the Saints, and the Patriots. Those are kind of the three that I think would be.
I could see him in New Orleans. That's kind of I thought either. Yeah, I thought like either New Orleans or maybe like I thought New Orleans, Seattle, or maybe even like I don't know somewhere on the West Coast like Denver or something.
Yeah, I think the Patriots might be a good one. Depending what happens, next year with like Antonio Brown and. I don't know where Mike Evans' contract stands with the Buccaneers, but the Buccaneers could be another spot depending on what happens contractually from here on out.
That's a good question. I want to see what Mike Evans' contract looks like.
There's been some people jumping in. So if you're new to the stream, go ahead and follow us. We appreciate you joining us tonight. This is Line to Gain. I'm Corey. Bobby has what hat is that? Louisville Bats hat. And there's Todd over there with the what hat do you have on, Todd?
That's a Columbia hat. That we call that just beautiful. A good old dad hat.
Good old dad hat. Beautiful. So welcome.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll continue with the week 8 pick'em. So we're going over last week's games. Next game we have on the board is the ass whooping that happened in Detroit. The Eagles absolutely laid the smackdown on the Lions. This wasn't even close.
No, I didn't watch it, to be honest with you, but I was following along on my phone. I was just like, ooh.
I don't even know if you can call this like the talent doesn't even line up, because Philadelphia, it's not like they're overloaded with a bunch of big talent.
No, but I think they're better in pretty much every aspect, right?
Sure, right. I think you could say that against anybody against Detroit right now, though.
Yes, 100%. And Mike White with an absolute dime on this pass right here, boys.
Absolute yes, that was a great pass.
In between 4 Colts defenders. Great job by the wide receiver finding that soft part of the zone as well.
Right.
Mike White looking good.
Is that more? Yeah, that's more.
I want to see Mike White. I want to see his line right now.
He stood in there. He took a shot. The arm strength's there.
6 of 10 for 76 yards. Checking down, wide open, Moore with a touchdown. Mike White. Wow. Over 100 yards on the night so far. 7 of 11.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he was wide open.
Good Zach Lord. Wilson is absolutely relieved that he doesn't have to be in New York and with all the devil's advocates.
Zach Wilson's like, I'm getting fucking traded, man.
Yeah. Thank God. Manhattan's too scary.
Yeah, he is.
I'm going to Denver. I'm going to Denver.
Yeah. Keep me back in the mountains.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we all three had the Eagles. Obviously, an easy pick. Next game on the board, Rams Texans, excuse me. Rams end up winning this game by 16, 38-22.
They're also up 38-0. Those are 22 unanswered garbage points late in the game.
Yeah, so I mean
Brandon Cooks had all of his receiving yards in the fourth quarter, for what it's worth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Texans are getting Tyrod Taylor back this week. Who knows how he's going to be? He hasn't played since week 2. Still nursing a hamstring injury from everything that I've read. We'll see how he does.
Who is Houston's primary running back?
It is it's not
Can you give me an A, B, C, D?
No, it's
no, I'm legitimately asking because I'm just not sure.
I have no idea.
Because I've seen them run Duke Johnson. I've seen them run Ingram.
I think it's
there's got to be.
I think it's Ingram.
Ugh, man, they have no running back production.
Mark Ingram's not there. He got traded.
Oh, that's right. He's on the Saints now, so it would be Duke Johnson, right?
Yeah. Yeesh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough for the Texans. Obviously, the rest of their year looks bleak.
Mike White already has more touchdown passes than Zach Wilson on the season,
and he's played 5 quarters. Unreal.
Not even
5 quarters yet.
The interceptions.
Good Lord.
Poor Zach.
Some people have it, some people don't.
So let's just air this. Is this a Josh Rosen situation?
I think it's too early.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I was just curious to see where you guys' perspective was on that.
Give me 3 weeks of tape on Mike White, and then we'll see how he does.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll monitor the situation. But Mike White definitely taking advantage of the opportunity.
For sure.
In New York, and that's really exciting to see somebody that's not had a shot yet come in and dominate like he's dominated so far.
Baby. Wait, is Western in the map?
Where are we at here? 49ers
They're in
Bears.
The Sun Belt.
Yeah, Sun Belt.
Rob, if you're in the chat, sorry that your Bears did not pull it out last week against the Niners. They lost by 11 points.
They had the lead late too.
Deebo Samuel is just unstoppable.
Yeah, having a great year.
Yeah. Ooh. No, he's
one of the leading receivers right now, right? Deebo.
Oh yeah, he's ranked 3 in Josh's league. I don't know what he is in the other league.
Quick update here: Mike White getting his hand looked at, and it does not look good. It doesn't look like he can really move it well without grimacing pretty hard. So we'll keep it.
Is that from him getting hit on that that throw to Moore?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Who is now? Is it Flacco?
Joe Flacco is on the staff. He is on the 53-man roster. Whether or not he's suited and booted for tonight, I have no idea.
That's what I was wondering because he was not suited Sunday.
Exactly.
Well, that's going to be devastating for me if I just lost my quarterback. Because I can't afford to take an L at that position right now.
Taking a look at it right now, I didn't see anything. It didn't look like his hand came down on anybody. Okay, so maybe it's in his forearm there.
Yeah, maybe so.
When he came down there, I didn't see much. Maybe it's just a stinger. We'll see. We'll let you know.
Yeah, he immediately white knuckled.
Yep.
Ground.
We'll stay monitored on that. We all three had the Niners. We all three right. Anything else you guys want to touch on from the Niners Bears?
No.
Okay. Moving on. The Jacksonville Jaguars were on the road in Seattle. We all three had the Seahawks. Seahawks won handily, 31-7.
Yeah.
What's the prognosis for the Jags the rest of the year? Should they just?
Well, they don't have James Robinson either. He was ruled out for the game Sunday. Yeah. So, yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That makes Trevor Lawrence's job 10 times harder not having him in the backfield.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, James Robinson was having an excellent year up to this point.
He got hurt Sunday.
Filling in for Travis Etienne, and both of those guys have gone down, and that's just.
You think he would have filled in for him, or you think he would have been the starter?
That's a good question. I mean, they're both quality running backs.
I think that they run them similar. Not to compare them to Hunt and Chubb, but I think that's a similar. I think Robinson is their similar, Robinson is their 1-2 down back, but Etienne is the better receiving running back. Yeah, so I think that that's where I think Etienne will have a good NFL career, and he'll make his money being like just a guy that can catch 5 or 6 balls out of the backfield every week.
Great route here by Michael Pittman, taking the leverage and jogging it off into the inside and getting open for Carson Wentz, making it real easy on him.
Yep, nice.
I do have him. I have him starting in 3 leagues this week.
That was about 20-yard reception, so not too shabby.
I picked him up off the waivers in the league, believe it or not, fellas. He was not on anybody's roster this week.
He's huge. He is huge.
Yeah.
He's like 6'4".
Yeah.
Massive.
He's an Ohio State running back or a wide receiver. That's what they create.
Yeah, he's so tall.
Yes, sir. I think the biggest upset of the week, outside of the Bengals Jets, the Saints beat the Bucs at home. Famous Jameis.
Corey said
biggest news was Jameis going down with the ACL.
Did they? They beat him?
Yeah.
Yes.
36-27.
Corey, you said it. Tom Brady has a game every year where he loses to a terrible team. Yeah. And this year it was New Orleans. And it was without Jameis Winston for most of the game.
Yeah. Trevor Siemian, I believe, took the helm.
Yeah, Trevor Siemian, former Bronco.
Yeah.
I'm honestly shocked that nobody has picked up Cam Newton yet. With all of these quarterback injuries.
I'm not.
I just think it's a testament to how shitty his character is. And how much of a locker room liability he is.
Fucking weird, man. I think that's
he's a weird guy. Yeah, he's a weird guy.
Fucking weird.
You're a weird guy, Ace.
I don't think it's about the vaccine. I don't think it's about his ability to play. I just think they don't want him in the room because he's fucking weird, man.
Yep, he's an odd guy. Yep. That's fair. I don't know. Trevor Siemian just doesn't. I don't know. I don't want to hand him the ball. I just don't feel comfortable handing him the ball because they don't have Taysom Hill either because he's on concussion protocol.
Sean Payton saw Cam Newton twice a year for a better part of a decade, so he knows Cam Newton very well from a film.
That's what I'm saying. I just think that's if there's going to be a shoe that fits, that's the city where it fits.
Yeah, we'll see. They made an unbelievable upset. Corey called it from the get, even though we all went the other way.
I'm surprised. I mean, they should have just picked the Saints. You just keep going with it. Or you said you were just going to pick them till they won, right? Wasn't that your?
No, I think it was something. I don't think I picked the Saints in that game.
Or you just like you kept flip flopping, and every time you didn't pick them, they won. Every time they picked them, they lost.
I think I've got like 1 or 2 Saints games right this year. So.
Yeah.
All right. The last game of the week that we were split on the Washington football team on the road in Denver. One-score game. Broncos pulled it out 17-10. Corey was on the winning side of this. Yeah, well done, sir.
Yeah, Washington sucks. What can I say?
They do suck.
Yeah,
they're bad.
They're really bad.
They're awful.
They're really, 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 really bad.
Well, I think we haven't really discussed anything, but there is a complete uprising within the Washington football community with all the investigation shit going on. I mean, it doesn't directly impact the team, the things that are going on, but I think it still impacts a franchise when there's that black cloud hanging over your head like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that you're not really hearing anything about it on the national media right now. You're not hearing
not at all. It's like radio silence, and this is huge.
Yeah,
it's huge.
It's when it hits the fan, if it ever does, you're either going to see one of two things. It's going to hit the fan, and they're going to come down hard on, I believe, Dan Snyder's, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Dan Snyder, the Snyder family.
They're going to come down really hard on them, or the NFL's going to cover it up, and then Roger Goodell will lose his job because of PR. Like, they'll find out that he covered it up, and then Roger Goodell will get in trouble for that, and yeah, you're not hearing anything, or they're just mounting a massive case against him, and he'll be forced to sell the team. So.
Right. So here's my thing, and this is a wild imaginative theory that I have mulling around up here, but there are a lot of heavy hitters within the professional football community that are implicated in this, right?
Oh yeah.
And all of the scenarios that are going on with this, and the NFL is going to have to make a decision whether they are going to soften this for those people, or if it's just a full exposure and you just uproot. And I think Goodell is included in that. Not necessarily included in what the things that are going on, but this is a situation where I think he knew these things he knew enough that he should have put a stop to it. And he just kind of put the blinders on.
Yeah.
Sat in his recliner and drafted and did the NFL draft.
Let me throw another hypothetical situation out there to you. Maybe all of that is true. At the end of the day, though, the Washington football franchise becomes the fall man. They're forced to sell. They inevitably do sell, relocate, rebrand, and you have a new team in a new market.
In London. That's where they go. That's my guess.
Or let's see, another opportunity could be, I don't know, St. Louis.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a Toronto, Mexico
right.
City. There's a lot of different opportunities. So.
I could definitely see an NFL franchise in Toronto. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world, one of the highest cost per living cities
on the planet as well.
Yes, and they have an MLS team, right? They have the Raptors, they have the Blue Jays, who are a surging young team in the American League that will likely make the playoffs multiple times over the next few years. It's a good city to put a football franchise because those fans are super loyal, and Drake probably gives that franchise a shit ton of money when it comes around and becomes a part owner of them, similar to like what Magic Johnson did with the Dodgers.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
There's a lot of money to be made in Toronto. I think that is I see London as the opportunity to create a real legitimate international market for the NFL, but Toronto makes the most sense fiscally to create a franchise.
Logistically as well, yeah.
Yeah. You could plug them in AFC or NFC North or something and they're fine.
Or even keep them in the NFC East.
Yeah, I guess you can too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, 2 games left. We had the Cowboys on the road in Minnesota. Another quarterback filling in for the starter in Cooper Rush, getting his first NFL victory on Sunday.
Is Cooper Rush a Missouri guy?
No fucking clue.
Let's find out.
Yeah. Oh, also to circle
Central
back to
Michigan.
Wow.
Central Michigan University.
Fire up, Chip.
Undrafted
Mike
free agent.
Evans. That's both podcasts this week. We have mentioned Central Michigan.
We have.
What are the odds of that?
Fire up chips both times.
You did. Mike Evans' contract is through the 2023 season.
Got my lunch pail again, boys.
What are we sipping on tonight? The Coors Light?
Coors lattes. I also have a Modelo as well as an agave seltzer. So I'm feeling spicy.
There you go. Yeah, we all three had the Cowboys. Cowboys won in the close one, 20-16.
Dak looking good to go for Sunday, by the way.
Yeah, Dak should be back this week, so that offense should be back and ready to rumble. On to the Monday night game. The Chiefs finally got a win. It came against a subpar Giants team, but they still came out with a victory, even though the Chiefs looked awful again.
Yeah, they did not play well.
No.
They're not. I just think the lack of running game is finally catching up to Kansas City.
Well, that was the best thing that they did the whole night was run the football.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't know, maybe Mahomes is just losing some of that confidence that he's had. He's kind of lost the swagger.
Teams are really shutting Travis Kelce down as well. Like the Giants, he didn't do shit.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, he's had a couple decent weeks, but not lately.
Yeah.
All right, so to wrap,
he's not getting in the end zone. That's really what
no,
he's
not.
Just not in the end zone.
I don't. What's wrong with Pat Mahomes?
Oh, Jonathan Taylor, you dirty bitch! Oh, what a run! I mean, you could have driven a Mack truck through this hole. This is just absolutely phenomenal blocking by the men up front here for the Indianapolis Colts. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was
perfect execution.
He wasn't touched until he was pushed into the end zone.
I believe they have 3 first-round picks on their offensive line, and maybe 4. Because Ryan Kelly, their center, and then Fisher and Quentin Nelson are all first-round picks, right?
Yeah, studs.
Yeah, all of them workhorses.
That was a great cut there, and once he got to the second level, it was a great cut to the sideline. Just great vision, man. Jonathan Taylor is just unreal.
To your point about Patrick Mahomes, I mean, I just think it's kind of that people have figured out the Chiefs in general. I don't necessarily know that it's necessarily him that's the problem. He is making a lot of bad throws, but I think he feels like he has to force things, which he is doing, and a lot of it's resulting in interceptions now. So maybe it is him.
Yeah. I mean, can you say he was due for a bad season? I mean, ever since he came in, he hasn't had a bad one. You know,
right.
You can't be on the cover of Madden twice and not have a bad year.
Yeah, no.
There's proof in that. Look at Peyton Hillis. True, was ruined because of Madden.
Well, he only had one cover.
Yeah, but ruined. Madden curse is real.
That's all it took.
Yeah, Madden curse is real.
Do you guys know the story behind why he took it?
Because it's the Madden cover.
Nobody wanted it.
Yeah, nobody wanted to do it.
Nobody wanted it.
And Peyton Hillis is just a good old boy.
He's like, fuck yeah.
And he had that huge surge in from weeks 9 to 17, and they check all the boxes and they're like, oh, let's call Peyton. Peyton's in his swamp in Louisiana. Hey, you want to do on the cover of Madden? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Next thing you know, he gets on the Broncos and is non-existent within 18 months of being on the cover of Madden. He's out of football.
Yeah, unbelievable.
There's a really good article that somebody wrote about Peyton Hillis, and that he just legitimately is not self-aware and doesn't really have just general common sense, and only played football because he's just big, strong, and fast. And that's the thing that kept him from being a degenerate most of his life.
Wow.
Was football. And people just kind of guided him in the direction of football. And that was it. And that's how he ended up in Cleveland.
All right.
Unreal. All right. Go to recap week 8. I went 11-4. Todd went 8-7.
Woof.
Corey went 10-5.
Ooh.
So the standings. Corey is in the lead at 82-39. I moved up to second place at 81-40, one game back of the lead. And Todd dropped 2 games and is now in the cellar at 80-40.
That's like being 38 games back in baseball. I'm right now. I'm the Pittsburgh Pirates or the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, I just had a mid-season surge. I'm like the Reds going into the All-Star break right now, just winning. Yeah, and then I'm just going to fall apart in the back half of the season.
I'm just the Dodgers. I'm a model of consistency.
Yeah, look, I'm just going to call on the lefty. Give me John Lester. I'll make my surge here.
FYI, we'll be fine. Backup for the Jets is in, and is not Joe Flacco.
Josh Johnson.
He's in. Baby.
Former Bengal, former Redskin.
Former like 20 different clubs actually, but.
I think it says it's his 7th season, but I feel like he's been on 13 teams.
I feel like that's
Mike White's still throwing on the sideline. It looks like he's trying to get back in the game. I'd imagine if this doesn't go well, we'll probably see Mike White on the next driver at the latest at the beginning of the second half.
I agree. Little comparison: Zach Wilson with 6 games, 4 touchdown passes. Mike White, 3 games, 5 touchdown passes.
That's not even 3 full games.
No. Like
that's 2 and a quarter.
2 full games.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco's still in sweatpants, by the way, in a hoodie on the sidelines.
It looks like it is not comfortable for Mike White to be throwing a football. Flacco looks like he's Zach Wilson's uncle that just follows him around. That's what it looks like on the sideline right now.
He just looks like he's there for a paycheck.
I take that paycheck too if I'm
deal.
Yeah, there's a reason Josh Johnson has not stayed on a team.
Bruce with a comment: Manning curse is real too.
What's the Manning curse?
I don't know what the Manning curse is.
Bruce, can you elaborate?
I also don't know what it is.
I'm excited to find out.
Maybe that was an autocorrect and he meant to say Madden.
Mm-mm.
But that's the N and the D are too far away on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know the Manning curse.
Oh! The Jets with continued trickery here, converting on a 3rd and 15 with a double pass. Again, this is the 3rd or 4th time they've done that in the last 2 weeks. I love it.
Michael Carter with the reception.
Hey, when you don't have the weapons, you got to go with the deception.
Rob, Good evening, sir. Welcome to the chat.
Mr. Meter, what's going on, brother?
Up, Rob?
All right. As we move into week 9, we already picked the game tonight. We all have the Colts over the Jets. Mike White going out with an apparent right arm injury. We don't know if it's hand, forearm. We'll see if he's able to make it back into the game. But right now, Josh Johnson's at the helm. Next game on the board, we have the Las Vegas Raiders flying to the East Coast to take on the New York Football Giants.
We're going to talk about Henry Ruggs?
I mean, I will say one thing. It's an absolute tragedy. On one hand, I slightly feel bad for Henry Ruggs. On the other hand, I absolutely cannot stand what he chose to do. You have all the money in the world, but Uber at your salary is nothing. And even Rob commented on the post, the NFL has outlets for you to use. That way you do not have to operate a vehicle if you are under the influence. They have put fail-safes in place in order for things like this to not happen, and it still happened. The fact that a life was lost because of his poor choices, I genuinely hope that whatever comes his way, he gets. So,
yeah, I definitely can appreciate that thought. Quick comment here: looks like the Colts have forced a fumble and gotten the ball back from the Jets near midfield. So, real quick comment there, but I agree, or rather, I can appreciate that thought and those feelings. Henry Ruggs is a very young man with a lot of money, a lot of success early in his life, and to me, while he is responsible for the decisions that he chose to make and he will have to live with the consequences of the decisions that he chose to make. This also shows to me that the system in place that he is a part of is not set up to provide men like Henry Ruggs or other men in that situation the channels to handle the money and the success and the fame in an appropriate way, potentially. Now, Henry Ruggs is an outlier. That's not to say that the whole system needs to be changed, but I think there need to be more emphasis on the resources in terms of money management, in terms of social responsibility, things like that. I'm not trying to downplay what he did, and what he did is vile. It's disgusting. The fact that he is unscathed essentially in this entire situation is mind-blowing. The fact that he's breathing right now is crazy.
And the other human literally burned alive with her dog.
It's
like,
and yeah, I mean,
like that's just absolutely atrocious. Like that.
And obviously, he didn't mean for that to happen. He didn't mean to do that. Nonetheless, the results of his actions were that, and that is a risk you take when you decide to get behind the wheel of a car drunk and drive almost 160 miles an hour.
Right.
That's a result of those. That is a consequence of those actions, and I think that there is I struggle with this because the NFL is a private organization. They pay their players what they want to pay them. They have their rules and their regulations. I don't think that they necessarily have to do anything. Should they? Do they have some kind of moral responsibility to set these young men up to be successful and not social fucking pariahs? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but that question does toss around in my head. Like, do they have some kind of ethical, moral responsibility to make sure that these men know how to handle this radical change in their life?
Sure. So I think that I'm sure you know this too, Corey, that there are after you're drafted in the NFL, they do what they call the rookie camp, right? So after you're selected in the draft or signed as a free agent, you can elect to go to rookie camp.
You mean where rookie camp tells you to find a fall guy?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. That's yes. You're getting to my point there. So rookie camp provides a basically an arena-sized classroom where a financial advisor comes in and tells you to get a financial advisor, does not teach them anything about how to be fiscally responsible with this paycheck that they're going to be getting 18 times. They then have a life coach is one of the positions that comes in, a life coach that says, hey, you need one of me. So that way you have somebody that's in your corner, that's unbiased, that's not family or friends or people that you've grown up with, that can give you guidance. And then the third person is Chris Carter, or a former NFL superstar that provides horrendous advice because they played in the NFL 30 years ago without social media. And they got away with all sorts of shit that you can't get away with now, right? Things weren't documented the way they are now. You can pull your phone out and change somebody's life in 6 seconds? Isn't that what it was for Urban Meyer? 8 seconds. Right. So the NFL promoted this like this was this great thing that they were doing, and they brought that together shortly after the 30 for 30 broke that aired, that showed Andre Rison, Bernie Kosar, guys like that, the people that had all the money in the world, and really said that they never got the guidance once they got to the NFL to how to earn their money or how to save their money or be fiscally responsible. And the NFL said, all right, great, we're going to do this thing. We're going to call it a rookie camp. We recommend it. We highly suggest it for everybody. They've shown footage of that. Most of those guys are in there either sleeping on their phones or don't give a shit about being there because there's an NFL legend that comes in at the end of the day, and that's all they want to be there for. I agree with Corey that there needs to be some sort of, it either needs to be a part of a contract, right? You're legally bound by your contract to do X, Y, and Z, whatever those parameters look like, or you if the NFL wants to continue to make the image better, just fucking do something about it. Do it on your own. Don't let an event like this happen and make us have to have this conversation. Have the structure in place within franchises. Require franchises to have something like this, or
that's
something, anything.
That's where my
anything.
head's going is almost like if you've ever watched, was that Last Chance U, where they have that teacher that kind of walks these guys through their classes, and they're an advisor almost.
Mm-hmm.
It can be for rookies, you know what I mean? It can just be for rookies to again, just kind of guide them along the path of dealing with everything that comes along, with being in the NFL for the first time, having an insane amount of money that you couldn't even fathom anymore, when you were a
kid,
and everything that comes with that.
Sure. And look, I hate for the family of the victim of this incident. It's the worst thing in the world, because it wasn't natural, right? This wasn't an organic death. This was a death brought on by somebody else. And that's the worst thing. I can't imagine what that feels like.
Awful.
But there's a part of me that feels some real significant sympathy for Henry Ruggs, because he is going to be the poster child for this for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
He is going to be.
His life is over.
Yeah, his life is, and look, and I don't think that I'm not saying it to defend him. I'm not defending him in any way. I want to say that, but his life is going to be horrendous for forever. And look, I hope that justice is swift for him, and that he is given his appropriate time for what he did for killing somebody in an accident. But I mean, if anything for him, I hope that this provides him the opportunity to change the path and to be an advocate for having things like this set forward, like moving forward in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure. Bruce came into the comment. There's a video of him and his girlfriend. She's crying and saying she's sorry, asking to get him help. She wasn't even worried about the person burning alive. Yeah, it's just this terrible situation, man. I think, I don't know. It's a terrible thing all around. Obviously, he had the world in his hands, and it all disappeared in a matter of seconds, right?
Yeah. By his own hand.
By his own hand, self-inflicted.
Carr made a comment that I think kind of is important in here, and a lot about Derek Carr as a person. He basically said that, I feel bad that I didn't tell him enough that I would be there, that I would pick up the phone at 3:00 in the morning. If you needed me, I would be there, to drive you. I could do whatever you needed, at 3:00 in the morning. If you can't drive, that I feel bad that I didn't make it known that he could call me.
Sure.
Which I think it's commendable by Derek Carr. But you made a comment earlier, Bobby. There's zero in this day and age. There's zero excuse for getting behind the wheel of a car drunk.
Yeah.
And there's all the technologies, particularly in Las Vegas, particularly if you're a Raider, and I just think that you have to raise the question: was it a matter of time putting young men, young, rich, athletic, in the prime of their life, men, NFL superstars, in Las Vegas? Was it a matter of time before something like this happened? I don't know.
I think that's an interesting perspective, and that's actually kind of where my head went after digging in on this and hearing multiple people's or reading multiple articles about it. Is this the impact of being in Vegas? I mean, that's a different lifestyle, and again, it doesn't justify the actions, but Vegas wants more professional franchises, right? That this is the second one that they have, and they want two more. They want they want to make an MLB franchise in Vegas, and they have the space for it.
Yeah,
and they want the NBA in Vegas. That's where, if for whatever reason, Minnesota decides that they want to leave Minneapolis, Vegas is petitioning for that franchise to be moved there. And look, again, you're giving people who are given a large sum of money, and it just doesn't work.
Bob, if you're watching that, we're picking it up, FYI. But yeah, it's a horrible situation. It raises so many questions.
My apologies. I had my mic muted. I don't know where that audio was coming from.
That's okay. But I hope that
I watched enough of it. Honestly, it's rough.
Yeah, I just hope Henry Ruggs can, find a way to, make something to use whatever resources he has available to him after.
Yeah.
He does what he needs.
Yeah. You want to see growth, right? That's the big thing. You want to see real, genuine growth. I don't want the bullshit front, right? You want to see real, legitimate growth.
That's pretty clear.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and pick this game. Move on.
Who are the Raiders playing this week?
Raiders are on the road, New York against the Giants.
With no Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley.
Tested positive for the COVIDs.
Well, I think they have a bye coming up next week, if I'm not mistaken. The Giants do. So I think they didn't want to rush him back for this week. Let him get another week underneath him, and a bye week, and he'll be back ready to go after that, I believe. But
I got the Raiders in this one.
Yeah, all things said, I think I'm going to take the Raiders. It's hard to bet on the Giants.
Also, for what it's worth, Daniel Jones is the Giants' leading rusher with 241 yards. I just like putting that number out there when it exists.
All right. Next game on the board, we have the Atlanta Falcons on the road against the Saints. Any word on Matt Ryan on whether or not he's going to start this week?
I have no idea.
He's a full go, boys. He is a full go.
I didn't think so. It's just not throwing hand. They can tape that up. He'll be fine. Saints obviously down to Trevor Siemian. I can't be on that train 2 weeks in a row. There's no way they I don't know. The Falcons are bad, so this is a tough one.
I'm going with the Dirty Birds.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Falcons on the road. I don't think the Saints can do it with Trevor Siemian.
Oh man, we're only on the second game, and you guys are gonna put me on the spot here. I'm actually gonna go with the Saints. I'm gonna go with New Orleans at home.
It's a 50-50 call.
Yeah. Look, I know Calvin Ridley, and look, you still got Pitts, you got Patterson, you got Mike Davis, you got weapons there. That's good, but I don't know. I don't think I've picked the Saints more than once this year. I'll take them at home. Let me get them in the dome.
All right, fair enough. Next game should be a little bit easier for us to pick. I assume we're all three going to be on the same page. Bills on the road in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think this is yikes.
This could be the largest margin of victory for the season. But I mean, there's a legitimate chance that Josh Allen doesn't play past maybe the third, like the first half. I could see Buffalo putting it on him heavy and fast, and then you just kind of coast it. Yeah,
then you go.
It's a high school football game. It's a D1 school playing a D6 school.
That's somebody that I thought might have been dealt at the deadline. There was Mitch Trubisky.
I know, and I don't know if there were any takers on him, honestly.
No, I mean it could be an off-season move for them too.
Yeah,
you got some.
You can get something of value.
What about the Lions? Send them Goff and a 4th rounder for Mitch Trubisky.
I think that they're just they're resting their laurels on.
You think Mitch Trubisky's a starting quarterback?
Yeah, I do.
I think in the right offense he can be.
There's so many shitty starting quarterbacks right now. There's so many bad quarterbacks.
And there's not a lot coming out next year either. So
no, this is the worst. This is the worst quarterback class in a very, very, very long time.
Manual year, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking Malik Willis. He's an athletic quarterback. If you're top quarterback coming out of the
there, he's a good. He's an athletic quarterback.
Yeah, you like that? That's for you. That's for you because I didn't know I was going to be policed on my own podcast here.
Woo!
Malik Willis is at Liberty University, and he could be the number 1 overall pick as a quarterback.
Yeah,
not a defensive end, not an
I
offensive
don't think
lineman.
he will be. I think it's going to be Thibodeau out of Oregon.
Yeah, I think so too. But does Detroit take Thibodeau number 1 if they get the number 1 overall pick?
I think so. Yeah. I think that would be the move.
So then what? You try to sign a quarterback or trade for a quarterback?
I think you play golf again.
All right.
Rob coming in with a couple comments. He was better than Foles in Chicago. Trubisky has an offensive line. He's not terrible in Chicago. He just ran for his life.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he took that dog shit offense to the playoff twice. No offense, Rob. I'm not trying to be a dick to the Bears here, but Matt Nagy's a fucking idiot. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and it was all defense. It's all defense in Chicago. And to be fair, Trubisky, similar to Trey Lance, had very limited total snaps going into the NFL. He had been a quarterback for 5 years. I think he only played high school football for 1 year and was signed by North Carolina.
Wow.
As a quarterback, that is.
Crazy.
Made the most of it.
Yeah.
All right, well, we all three got the Bills against the Jags. Next game on the board, AFC North matchup. The Browns coming down. 71-75, whichever one you choose, to play the Benjis.
Yeah, I got the Bengals in this one. I think I will be in Cleveland, by the way. I'm going behind enemy lines. I know they're not in Cleveland, but I will be in Cleveland with a good buddy of mine and watching the game with a couple of Browns fans, so that'll be interesting. But I honestly kind of just feel like there's a lot going on in Cleveland right now. They aren't the healthiest team in the league. And I just honestly feel like Joe Burrow is pissed off. And whenever Joe Burrow gets pissed off, get the fuck out of his way because you will get run over.
Yeah, that's my motivation for my pick this week is Joe Burrow getting not embarrassed last week, but not beating a team he should have beaten.
Yeah, that L hangs, I think, not necessarily it's Burrow's response, but I think it hangs the heaviest over Burrow because he just – I think he carries such a big burden on his shoulders. Not necessarily
fourth quarter interception, by the way, and he leads the league in fourth quarter interceptions.
Yeah, he has 4, right? 5. Yeah, I think it was 4 or 5.
Rob coming in with a comment, picking the Bengals who lost to the Jets. Interesting. Well, to respond to that, I think the Bengals have a bounce back week. They obviously had a really tough game against the Ravens the week prior. I think they had their sights set a little too far in the future. As Corey had mentioned, that was his one fear going into the game versus the Jets. And his fear became a reality. But I think the Bengals lock it in, and Joe Burrow takes care of business.
When you're playing at home,
there's not too many.
You're gonna have a big crowd. Yeah. Ocho Cinco is the ruler of the jungle this week, so he'll be back and getting everybody. Everybody will be excited about that. I think that crowd plays a huge factor.
Yeah. Look, I think if Tampa Bay was playing this week, we'd pick Tampa Bay, right? They just got beat by New Orleans, which nobody thought.
Yeah.
And it's a different team, but nobody goes 6. It's very rare for somebody to go 16-0, and the Jets beat the Titans, who are winning their division as well.
Yeah, I think that's a great comp right there. They beat the Titans, and what did the Titans do the next couple of weeks? They just absolutely piss railed whoever was in their way. So
yeah, I mean they crushed the Chiefs, crushed them.
Rob says, "Sorry, all these shots at my Bears. I had to take a shot at that open win."
Go for it, buddy. Hey, the Bears beat the Bengals, so go for it. Wasn't a shot at the Bears. It's specifically Matt Nagy and his ridiculous.
You can't tell me as a Bears fan that you like Matt Nagy as the coach.
I don't believe. If you did, I don't believe you.
It's not true. It's not true.
Next game on the board. The Patriots on the road, headed south to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, man. The Pats aren't necessarily an exciting team to watch. It's more of a managed game. I think that has a lot to do with Bill Belichick. I'm taking the Pats over the Pretenders.
Yeah, I think Bill Belichick has Sam Darnold's number too. I think there's something to be said about that. And the fraudulent enemy number one, the Carolina Panthers, I don't see them beating the Patriots, who have been a model of consistency. Now, it hasn't been a consistently great team, but they've been consistently above average. And I'll take that over a team that I don't really know what I'm going to get week to week. So I'll go Pats here.
Yeah, I agree. I think that over the last 2 weeks specifically, Mac Jones has played much better, and he seems to be settling in as an NFL quarterback. And again, his time management is very solid. So
yeah, for sure.
I see them controlling the ball for most of the game.
Yeah, and that Panthers receiving core is just suspect, man.
Which you wouldn't have guessed that coming in. I would have actually, and I think I even made that comment on this program, is that I was really excited to see the receiving core of DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and even Terrence Marshall, out of LSU. I was really excited to see Terrence Marshall this year because I thought he could be, if the Bengals went round one, they went lineman. I was targeting Terrence Marshall as a round two type prospect, and I was really excited to see what he's done, and I haven't really heard much, to be honest.
Yeah,
he doesn't see the field very often.
Yeah, and just a quick comment here: the Jets are in the red zone here, looking to punch one in to get down to one score on a 3rd and 8 play. Josh Johnson absolutely tunnel vision the entire way on one receiver, gives a mildly catchable ball but out of bounds, and the Jets are going to have to settle for a field goal here.
Yeah, it was a great throw. It's just too late.
Yeah, and he looked at him the whole way. There's no deception or any kind of looking the guy off.
Appreciate that, Rob.
With a comment here, oh no, Nagy needs to go. That sounds like almost like a political slogan. Oh no, Nagy needs to go. Oh no.
Rob also with a comment. There's a guy streaming the football game on Twitch with 0 delay if you want a live shot at the game. Thanks, Rob.
What's his name? I might jump on board there.
Yeah, for sure. Shoot his
he won't be up very long, guys.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's going to be getting away with that for a while.
He's back for the second half. I'm in.
That's an infringement.
Like fucking Soviet Union when it comes to that shit. Like, they will come down on you hard.
Right. All right. Next game on the board, we got the Broncos on the road headed south to Dallas. Take on Dak Prescott. I don't think this one's even close.
Yeah, if I hadn't already picked him, I would have taken Dallas in my survivor league here. But yeah, I got the Cowboys big.
Yeah, Von Miller also no longer a Bronco.
Yeah.
Getting traded to the Rams.
Yeah, I mean.
Did you guys see his comment?
Yeah, I went to sleep 4-4. I woke up 7-1.
Yeah, I love it. I love Von Miller, man. He's such a character. He's nice comedic relief to the NFL.
He's pretty cool. And I think he's a horse farmer, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he owns a ranch, which is just a funny quirk about an NFL player. The Broncos are kind of just under. I think the Broncos did a wise thing here. One, took care of a veteran who has led your defense for a better part of a decade. Sent him off to a contender. Let him get another ring, before he hangs it up as a career. Which I think we are approaching that day for Von Miller here in the next couple of years. And the Broncos understand that they don't have a quarterback. And they need to be sellers, and they were sellers. They moved their biggest chip, and it was a smart move for the Broncos, to be honest with you. The only issue I have with the Broncos in general from that perspective is they don't know how to draft. John Elway might be one of the worst GMs in the league right now.
I don't think there's a might there. He is. He's one of the worst GMs in the history of football. He is. They haven't drafted well ever in his time as GM at all. I've never seen them pick and been like, that makes sense there. That's a good pick. Every time I'm like, what are you addressing?
Yeah, it's almost like watching the Raiders draft.
Yeah. How many
offense, Bruce.
How many defensive backs and wide receivers can you draft in the second and third round in succession? Like, it just feels like you're just watching the same song and dance, and Elway's fully committed on, this one guy is being a weapon, and he drafts him 2 rounds too soon, and then he never amounts to anything.
Or just settles on the best available quarterback every time.
Right.
Osweiler.
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock. They traded up for Drew Lock as well.
Yeah.
Which is just embarrassing.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they drafted Osweiler.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Osweiler, Trevor Siemian.
Sorry. To Rob's credit, this stream on Twitch looks like it is brought to you by the NFL.
Oh, interesting.
So I wonder if they have made a deal with Twitch to try to get a different avenue of viewers.
That makes perfect sense.
They've got 39,000 people watching this stream right now.
Ask them if they can loop us in.
Get us in the top left quarter. It'll be all right.
Yeah,
you can even put us on mute, but at least we're on there.
Peyton and Eli us. Throw us in there.
That'd be excellent.
Yeah.
That would be excellent. All right, so we all three got the Cowboys in that one. Next game on the board, we have the Vikings on the road in Baltimore taking on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Vikings lost last week, I believe. Yes.
Yep.
To the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Vikings aren't playing bad football right now.
They're not. They just don't know how to win. And you got the Ravens coming off a bye. I'm going Baltimore here.
Yeah. They're going to be hungry. Baltimore's going to be hungry
especially after taking that L to Cincinnati in a close one.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson's going to be in the end zone in one facet or another at least 3 times, whether it's over the air or on the ground.
Absolute dime here by Carson Wentz, but I got to see if this elbow gets out of bounds before that knee. Oh, okay. I think it's going to be a knee down and then the elbow. Knee counts as 2 feet for those of you keeping track at home. And a great throw where only your receiver can get it. Great job by 16 there on the Colts. Who's that? I can't see. I don't know who that is. But great.
Is that Pascal?
No, great. It's Quinn or something like that. Great job by going out and grabbing that ball though and keeping that knee in bounds. Colts drive with 1:17 to go. Just got into Jets territory. Wentz with a check down to Himes, but it's behind him and incomplete.
Alrighty. Next game on the board should be a interesting game. We have the Houston Texans on the road in Miami.
Oof.
This is a coin flip football game of the week. I got the Dolphins taking care of business at home. I think the Texans are just in complete shambles right now. Maybe Tyrod Taylor coming back will provide a spark for them. But the Dolphins haven't played, really bad football. They've been really competitive in the last couple weeks. I'm going to take the Dolphins at home in this one.
So,
what are you giggling about over there, you silly little bitch? What are you giggling about?
This writer for AP Sports, her headline for this game is, for a change, the Dolphins and the Texans both won't lose this week. What complete and utter savagery to post, and ESPN just gobble it up, said, give me that, put that on the spread. Right. I want it. Yeah, give Tua's gonna have a decent game. It's gonna be a boring game. That would be my guess. I don't think this will be an exciting one, but I think the Dolphins squeak it out.
30 seconds as the clock is ticking. A great run there by Nyheim Hines. Wentz is dropping back, looking to throw. Another check down. Gets it out of bounds. Clock stops. 22 seconds to go. Colts on the Jets' 23-yard line. That one was to Pascal. And I will agree with both of your points here. I think at the beginning of the season, I had Houston as my first overall pick. I still think that could happen. Being that they're only separated by 1 game with Detroit. And I just think the Dolphins are playing okay football. They're kind of where the Bengals were last year. Like, they're playing all right and they're going to win some games, but for the most part they're going to lose. But I think this is one that they win.
All right, fair enough. Next game on the board. The Chargers on the road in Philly. Chargers have not looked good the last couple weeks. They've lost a few close games. The Eagles coming off of an absolute dominating performance in Detroit. Corey, who do you got? Who do you got? Chargers, Eagles.
It's the Chargers. This is the Chargers. They're just a better football team. The Eagles look really, really pardon me. Sorry about that. A little tickle there. The Eagles look really good against the Lions, but it's the fucking Lions. So I'm going to take the Chargers here. I know they are coming across the country. I believe it's in Philly, if I'm not mistaken. So I know West Coast to East Coast, a little bit there, but I think the Chargers are a good enough team to take care of business here and get it done.
Mr.
Just a quick
Gottschall.
comment here. Wentz moving around in the pocket, looking like that knee is absolutely not an issue. So Josh, if you still need to be sold on Wentz, he's putting together a hell of a job right now.
Yeah, I'm with Corey. I'm not betting against Herbert.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would agree. I think the Chargers bounce back this week. Eagles did come off a solid win. Granted, it's against one of the worst teams in the NFL.
That spread right now is only 1.5 for what it's worth.
And Rob with a comment here. Oh my God, he almost caught that. I'm sure that he didn't. Play's done. That's a touchdown. 150%. That is a touchdown, Rob. The play is done. It doesn't matter if the balls come out because the receiver's not airborne. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a touchdown. That is a touchdown. Yeah. Michael Pittman Jr. There you go, Todd.
I like that.
But did he complete the process of the catch?
Yes. Once that third foot is down, it's over. It's over. The play is done. Once that third foot, 1, 2, might even have gotten a fourth. I have to see where he catches the ball. 1, 2. Yeah, that's a touchdown. 100%.
Yep.
If they don't turn that over, there is no justice. 1, 2, 3. Balls out. Yeah, it's that third foot comes down. That's a touchdown. In my opinion. At least that's how I would look. Unless the NFL wants to be the no fun league. Rob with a comment. That should have been a touchdown. Okay, they're reviewing, and then in all caps, you like that? A la Kirk Cousins. Yes, I do like that. I picked the Colts this week. We all picked the Colts this week, so it's a fucking wash.
Yeah, I don't.
In that case, I want to root for the Jets then. In that case, like let's go. Let's get some Jets action in here, and I want to see the Colts just get buried away from the Bengals in the wild card. I guess I don't know. I need the Colts.
Fair enough. Next game, we've got the scorching hot Aaron Rodgers led Packers on the road against the Chiefs.
No Aaron Rodgers.
No Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, that's right, COVID.
Yeah, what an asshole.
Changes everything. Means Aaron Jones is in store for a big day.
That's right, baby. So you're gonna see Jordan Air Jordan HEIR Jordan. Jordan Love with the start.
The prodigy of Utah State.
That's right. So
just an update, they did call that a touchdown.
That's beautiful.
I believe that's the correct call.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, without Aaron Rodgers, I don't see the Packers doing anything this week. I got to take the Chiefs in this one without Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers is playing, I'm taking the Packers. But without him, I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs in this one as well. It's a low confidence pick for me, but I am going to go with the Chiefs on this just because I don't know what I'm going to get, and I'd rather the devil versus the one you don't kind of thing. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah. I mean, we're having a different conversation if we're talking Aaron Rodgers is in the game, right? I think that we can sense on the Packers being the victors, but I wasn't bought in on them drafting Jordan Love. From what very little footage I've seen of Jordan Love, I don't see him as an NFL quarterback. And you're going to not be able to utilize your best weapon with Devontae Adams coming back, and you're going to have to plug it all on Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, and you just can't do that. No NFL team wins by only running the ball. So, yeah, give me Kansas City.
Let's see here.
Rob with a comment. Oh, you reading those? Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I heard they didn't follow protocol, and I think they were trying to cover it up so he could start. Josh with a comment, hey, give me a full season with Wentz. I'll make that decision. Fair enough. But on the Rodgers thing, yeah, and Rodgers basically was like, are you vaccinated, is what the reporter asked him. He says, I'm immunized. Shaking his head yes, implying that he's agreeing with what he said. He says, I'm immunized, which is not saying that he's vaccinated, by the way.
No.
What he in turn did was a holistic immunization thing, whatever. And basically the Packers had a huge Halloween party last week, and Aaron Rodgers was there, and now he's tested positive with COVID, and he's not vaccinated. And what are the implications with the rest of the team? Well, Devontae Adams is, I believe, vaccinated, if I'm not mistaken. He did test also positive, and then resulted in a negative test a couple of days later. Devontae Adams will play this week. So Aaron Rodgers is the definition of narcissist. He is absolutely the biggest narcissist on the planet. He commits no wrong. Most people do fault. At the end of the day, though, I still love Aaron Rodgers.
All right. Well, Bruce is taking the Chiefs, even if they had Rodgers. So, Bruce, we will see if you're right, sir. We all three got the Packers in this one. Next game. I'm sorry, the Chiefs. My bad.
I was like, I don't have the Packers.
Sorry. My bad.
Well, one of us does, if that's what you're saying.
Right. No, my bad. Next game on the board, Cardinals on the road in San Francisco versus the Niners. I think the Cardinals take this one.
Yeah, Cardinals are playing great football, barring AJ Green having a
mental lapse.
Yeah, it's almost like Dale and Brennan and Step Brothers when they sleepwalk. That was essentially what happened out there. So
right.
I'll kill you, Leonard Nimoy. That's what happened at AJ Green. So barring that, they're 8-0. So I'm going to go with the Redbirds.
Yep, I agree. Give me the Cardinals.
All right. Next game, we've got the Titans on the road versus the Rams. Todd, who you got?
Oh, boy. No Derrick Henry means no Monday night win, or no Sunday night win. Give me the Rams. Cooper Kupp
Bruce agrees with you.
Have the greatest year. Yeah, Derrick Henry makes me think harder. No Derrick Henry makes me think for 2 seconds.
I got the Rams in this one. Also, Bruce will comment, Cards fuck minors. That's a dangerous comment. Thank God you MINERS rather than ORS.
Bruce says Vaughn's gonna want to show off. He doesn't strike me as that kind of guy. He just strikes me as a guy that just goes out there and takes care of business and lets the.
I can't wait to see him and Aaron Donald.
That's just going to be absolutely nasty.
That gave me goosebumps just putting that sentence together. And I know it's out of prime Von Miller, but at one point in time, Von Miller was like the best defensive player in the NFL. Now you have Aaron Donald, who's the best player in the NFL. Now they're going to be together. It's going to be a magical thing.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an absolute pleasure to watch. So hopefully they play off of each other well, like we all think.
The Rams are going for broke though here, right? Like they basically we don't value the draft. We're just going to get all the players we want that are good, and we're going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's it.
They have to at this point.
I call that the Los Angeles mentality.
Right.
Every professional franchise in LA does that. That's how that works. You have you have so much expendable income that you can just buy your franchise.
They kind of have to compete with. I mean, who's the defending champ? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right.
Like I said multiple times, the only way to beat Tom Brady is to put him on his ass. That's the only way to beat him. Otherwise, if you give him any amount of resemblance of time, he'll pick you apart because he's done it, and he'll continue to do it until people stop him from doing it.
Right.
So that's what they're doing. They're investing in pressure, and I think it's smart. If you're going to compete for a Super Bowl, you got to get through Tampa. It runs through Raymond James Stadium, and they're working on it right now.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, to wrap it up, the Monday night game, I did see the Monday night camera crew trucks headed up 71 to Pittsburgh. The back of the semi said, "Are you ready for some football?"
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it was I would assume it was all the camera gear headed to Pittsburgh, but they are at home against the Chicago Bears. Rob, I'm taking my Steelers over your Bears.
Rob, I'm also taking Bobby Steelers over your Bears.
Rob, I am also taking Bobby Steelers over your Bears. Honestly, the Steelers are playing good football right now. They're kind of figuring out their new identity, away from explosive big plays and more consistency with Najee. The defenses are the defenses. They're a formidable defensive front, and Steelers are turning it around. I mean, they're 4-3 right now, so you got to start respecting them. It's a very, very tight division, and they're doing what they need to do to keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I am.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bobby.
So,
oh my god, oh my god,
you
go first. Bobby's team. No. Let him talk.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Bobby. I'll shut my mouth.
No, you're good. I'm just gonna make a quick comment. As Rob tells us to F off, and Bruce is on that train. No, I think I'm with Josh Wheeler in the fact that I still need to see something from Ben Roethlisberger this year. The defense and Najee Harris can only do it for so long, and that's not going to win you every game. They won some tight ones. They beat a torn and battered Cleveland Browns team last week. Although still a good win, I think if the Browns are 100% healthy, I think it's a different game for sure. They've got to get out of this one dimension. excuse me, where Najee Harris is just the sole heartbeat of their offense and start spreading the ball around a little bit. And Ben needs to be more accurate. He's just not throwing the ball well this year. That's pretty much all I've got. So I mean, if Ben can control the game and not make any mistakes, I think they win this one.
Yeah, I think the big thing is, we've alluded to this multiple times. Justin Fields his talent is being completely wasted in Chicago with Matt Nagy. I mean, that offense is not conducive for Justin Fields to be able to do what he does. And Justin Fields is a pocket at the end of the day, he is a better pocket passer than a scrambler.
Yeah.
He was better in Ohio State when he was in the pocket. You get him outside of the pocket, he struggles. Pittsburgh will force him out of the pocket and make him have to make decisions on the run, which he does not do well at the NFL level. Yeah.
Bruce's comment coming in. Todd pisses me off. I'm nosy, and he blurs his background.
Bruce, maybe another time I'll show you what
if Bruce donates
what my kitchen looks like.
If Bruce donates to the Covenant House, Michigan, Todd will show you his background.
Yeah, Bruce, this is actually a request of my wife. So if you want me to make Mary upset, I can.
I think he wants
but
to.
I will
play with fire.
I will constantly remind you of that for now to the end of the time when I'm grounded from doing the podcast, because there's a chance that happens.
Quick shout out to Todd, who's not with us tonight.
Rest in peace.
Sorry, guys. Barry's got me on lockdown.
All right, well, that wraps it up. We only had one pick that went the other way, and that was Todd taking the Saints versus the Falcons. The rest of them are.
I was thinking that the whole time while we were picking. I was like, we're not going against each other very, very much.
Nope, this isn't the week to do it.
I think there's a lot of games I feel pretty good about. That said, I'll probably get 3 right.
No, it's primarily one-sided matchups, and then you get like the Texans Dolphins game. That's going to be a complete crapshoot.
The Falcons Saints or the Bengals Browns.
Yeah,
those are some. Even I guess the Steelers Bears is probably going to be a good game. I would say that's going to be a good game, but I do obviously have the Steelers winning. I do think that's going to be a close one.
Yeah,
all I need is the Saints to win, so I'm not this fucking 37 game back third place. That's all I need. From a
strategy standpoint, Bobby and I are sitting pretty. I'm sitting really pretty in that. You can only catch up one game on me at this point.
Well, also I noticed about 6 picks in that we weren't really going against each other, so then I just had to follow suit so that I don't bury myself any further.
Oh, come on. Take who you think's gonna win.
I will to be fair,
say this. You all have zero implication on who I pick. I want to be very clear about that. Corey picks who Corey thinks is going to win. Bob Dole does what Bob Dole thinks is best.
Fair enough.
Political reference for you there, boys. Bruce says he loves the blur and that you need to keep Mary happy. I think, honestly, what is the saying? Happy wife, happy life. There are a myriad of things that we do as significant others we wouldn't do normally. For instance, next weekend, I'm getting photos taken in a refurbished Volkswagen bus with Christmas gear everywhere. Would I ever fucking do that? No. Love my wife and family, so guess what I'm doing next Sunday on the bye week?
At least she was
pictures.
At least she was kind enough to make sure it was on the bye week.
Oh, I booked this shit, by the way, because I knew we were gonna have the pictures done, so I was like doing it on the bye week.
Smart, brilliant.
High IQ play right there.
Brilliant. Yeah, I was supposed to work this upcoming Sunday, and I was just like, I asked the guy like, "Hey, man, the Bengals are on a bye. I'll just work your Sunday if you switch my Sunday." He's like, "Yeah, man, sure." Level 200 IQ.
Excellent.
There you go. I don't have to work on Sundays, so I don't have that issue.
Yeah, screw you.
Do we want to razz a little bit about this college football playoff? A little bit. We want to talk a little bit about that.
I know Corey's been sitting there, just itching. I
want to say one thing before you guys get into this, because you guys ignored one of my comments on Tuesday.
Oh, sorry, bud.
And I was really disappointed. I don't know if you guys thought I was being facetious or not. Have you guys heard the story about the punter that's kicking like 86-yard punts?
No. You said he's running for the Heisman. You're right. We did ignore that. I'm sorry because I knew nothing about it. I couldn't talk to it. So tell me about it.
I'm trying to find the article right now.
Is he D1?
Yeah, I want to say it's Arizona State.
Bruce with a comment. Honestly, they're going to be pretty awesome pictures. You know it. And to be fair, you're absolutely right. They're going to be beautiful. They're going to be very, very
San Diego State. Matt Araiza. So his average punt, I believe, on the year is over 50 yards. He had a ball that he kicked from his own end zone, and the ball finished on the opponent's 12-yard line.
That is just fucking awesome. What a man.
His name is it's crazy.
He's their kicker and their punter.
Yes, he does both.
Can you give me some specs on this apparent brick shit house? Can you give me some? How big is?
He's not a big dude. Here, let me pull it up. Sorry, I wish I was more prepared.
He's like Michael Lorenzen in that his pitching arm is jacked. It's like just his kicking leg is like the size of a redwood tree.
He is a left-footed kicker for what it's worth, so that makes him unique.
He is 6'2", 200 pounds.
That's a big fucking guy.
It's a big boy. Punter? That's who was the punter for the Giants that was just yoked?
Oh, Sean Weatherford.
Yeah, who was on the yeah, that was good. Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah,
I knew it was something like that. Yeah, so here's a couple of just fun facts about this kicker punter extraordinaire. 54 yards a punt is his average.
Renaissance man, if you will.
Yeah. 57% of his punts have been inside the opponent's 20-yard line. First player in the history of college football to kick a 50-yard field goal and an 80-yard punt.
In the same game.
There was a man murdered on the fucking 6-yard line here for the Colts. This was just, he was absolutely, Rodgers, number 34 for the Colts, was just absolutely decimated by Williams, number 56.
Also leads his team in special team tackles. Get this man on the ballot.
That's amazing. He leads
at 6'2", 200. He is a defensive back at that point, right? Like,
that's amazing.
Rich Eisen
interviewed him,
gave him the Gorilla Glue Toughest Player on Planet Earth award, which awarded Arezia with $1,000, and that was courtesy of Gorilla Glue themselves. He put against Air Force, when they played Air Force, he put 5 punts inside the 5 of 6 punts inside the 20. One of those being an 81-yard punt from his own end zone. What a unit! What a unit!
Right, just imagine the change in field position and like the impact that would have.
What year?
That's what I was just.
He's a junior.
Because look, Huber is very close to retiring. Imagine that man in a Bengals uniform.
NFL, let's go. Let's do it.
Just hitting dingers inside the 10, inside the 20. Yeah.
The San Diego State coach has come out and said that he is by far their most valuable player.
Yeah. That person changes that's a momentum changing player, right? Like if you could pin it inside the 20-yard line over half the time, you're always giving yourself great field position when you get the ball back.
This guy leads the team in tackles. What does he just punt and then just start fucking sprinting? He just is tearing down the field. He's like, I dare you to fucking run this ball. I dare you.
Well, he has 13 seconds to get down the field because he's kicking it 70 fucking yards. Of course he's getting to all these tackles.
He literally cannot go to a team that plays in a dome.
No. The first person he reminded me of when I saw a highlight was Daniel Sepulveda. I don't know if you guys remember this guy.
Yes.
Punter that the Steelers drafted. That dude could lay the wood. That dude would light people up as a punter.
Yes.
He wasn't kicking him 80 yards, but he could hit
he was also like 6'3" or 6'4".
Yeah, he's big.
That dude was enormous.
Yeah.
Bruce with a comment here said, I'm going with the Sooners. Family obligation. Are they in? So no, they aren't, actually. The Oklahoma Sooners kind of got shafted, in my personal opinion, in terms of where they ended in the college football rankings. And I'm going to pull it up right now just so I don't speak with my foot in my mouth here. If you could just give me a quick second. All right, so I got them up right here, and the reason why I was surprised in the AP poll, Oklahoma coming in at 4. In the college football playoff rankings, Oklahoma came in at 8.
8.
Again, Oklahoma undefeated in the Big 12 with top 25 victory over Texas. Now they have a bye this week, and they'll go and play number 12 Baylor at Baylor, followed by preseason top 25 team Iowa State, and then they end the season with their rival Oklahoma State.
The Red River Shootout.
No, that is the Texas game. But
is it?
Yeah. But
what is Oklahoma and Oklahoma State then? There's a name for it.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, I thought that was the Red River Shootout.
The Dust Bowl.
Is it?
I don't know. Just taking a shot in the dark here. Call it the Oregon Trail.
The Bedlam series.
It's Bedlam. That's right.
Yeah, Bedlam.
We're at Bedlam. Yeah, they always say that. I don't know what it means, but it sounds cool as fuck.
Did you also know that Oklahoma State and Tulsa have a college football rivalry?
I guess that makes a little bit of sense, right?
Yeah, they're both. Yeah.
Where is Oklahoma State? Is it in Tulsa?
I don't know. That's a good question. Let's see where it is.
Man, just a quick update. Jonathan Taylor has had absolutely massive, massive holes to run through tonight.
They're in Stillwater, Ted?
Yeah, Stillwater.
Okay. Because normally the state school is in the capital.
Right.
Stillwater's got to be pretty close to Tulsa then, right? Because isn't Tulsa is it Oklahoma City?
Oklahoma City.
It is?
Any geography majors out there?
Well, this should be remedial.
They're not here.
It's Oklahoma City. You're 100%.
Yeah.
Just Tulsa just sounds right in my head. It's like Frankfurt is the capital of Kentucky, which makes no fucking sense.
Right. Anybody that doesn't remember that says it's Lexington or Louisville.
Lexington, yeah, it's got to be Lexington.
What's the capital of South Dakota?
Bismarck. That's North Dakota.
Damn it. Trying to think of a hard one. Montana.
Montana
Billings.
Is Billings. North Dakota is not Bismarck. It's South Dakota, I believe. North Dakota is Pierre, or something like that. Some shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know any of that.
No, North Dakota is Bismarck.
I didn't learn my capitals.
Bismarck. Okay.
I can say the 50 states in order, but that's about it.
South Dakota is it Sioux City?
Pierre. Sioux City is the biggest city.
So I had him flipped.
Yeah, you had him flipped.
They should. Let's be. I really don't.
Capital of Nevada. Bruce comments.
Capital of Nevada is Carson City.
Yeah.
Rob, thanks for liking the video. Carolyn, thanks for coming in and liking the video. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, guys. You guys talking college football?
We're talking Capitals. Real fucking exciting stuff here on Line to Me tonight. But what was I actually about to say? I don't even know.
So we started going down the Oklahoma Trail.
You were right about the Dakotas. You flipped them.
Oh, yeah. What I was going to say is I'm going to go out on a limb here and say there's nobody fucking watching from North or South Dakota. Why aren't they the same state? Why? Explain it to me in a meaningful way. Why they are not just Dakota. I need one state. Doesn't need to be that. Furthermore, Wyoming. Why are you a state? You are simply Colorado without people. That is what Wyoming is. And that should just be also Colorado.
So what are your feelings on the Carolinas?
Carolinas, there's some rift there. North Carolina, bustling city. South Carolina, the same. In North Carolina, I get a little bit more of an urban vibe. South Carolina, I get a little bit more of a beach vibe. Catch my drift. Just what I'm saying.
I like that your stance on Wyoming is just more Colorado.
And just in case everybody missed it, this is a sports podcast, but we've gone geographical. So
I would like to believe that if Corey wrote a map and he was kind of writing things out, that he knows where Wyoming is, but he just writes Colorado enormous just so he can prove his point that he knows, but Colorado is this, and then he just puts fucking Dakota, and then he puts a little jackrabbit in South Dakota.
Another point.
South Dakota State is
I think the state of Wisconsin is a beautiful, beautiful state with beautiful, beautiful people. Milwaukee is basically another version of Cincinnati. Great German beer town, great baseball town, great fans in the city of Milwaukee. I love Wisconsin. That being said, if you're very familiar with geography of Michigan, you have the Lower Peninsula, which looks like a mitten. Then you have the Upper Peninsula, which is not connected to the Lower Peninsula. In fact, the Upper Peninsula is connected directly to the state of Wisconsin. What does it say about how big of pussies the state of Wisconsin is that they're just going to let them have it? That's what I want to know. There's an entire Great Lake in between the Lower and Upper Peninsulas of Michigan. You're pussies, Wisconsin. I'm sorry to say it. Michigan owns you, apparently, and you just let them have it. I don't understand it. I just don't. There's no explanation for me other than the fact that it is soft as fuck.
Wow.
Hot take, Wisconsin.
Get your weight up, Wisconsin.
10 ply soft, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
they need to hit the weight room.
Charmin soft.
Oh,
cheese curd soft, if you will.
I never knew your.
Don't bring cheese curds into this.
Your strong passion for geography and its outrageousness in terms of states being states.
You ever watch that show, How the States Were Made? Have you ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, the Ohio, Michigan one is enthralling. It's interesting. Battle of Toledo, the most worthless city in the state of Ohio.
That's your last you have to think, like, if you're driving on 75 and you're coming from Ohio to Michigan, the last city that you go through is arguably the worst city in the state.
That's not named Youngstown. Yeah, I would agree.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they're kind of
the whole ride through that city is this.
Dude, that is exactly it. Like, you're literally like jumping up and down. It's terrible.
So here's a fun fact for you fellas.
Carson Wentz rolling. Oh, down to the 2-yard line. Almost got in.
I was making my weekly trip at that point in time from Cincinnati to Flat Rock, Michigan. So we always drove through Toledo. Well, there is always construction on that area of 75, regardless of if it needs work or not. They're always working on something in that 20-mile area. So we had to take a detour, and that detour led us through downtown Toledo, where the person that I was riding with, their car broke down in downtown Toledo.
Good.
On a Thursday morning at, let's call it 10 a.m. And the first person that came to pick us up drove right by us and rolled down his window and said, "Yeah, I'm not picking you up here," and just kept on going. So we sat there.
Massive goal line stand by the New York Jets. The Colts line up in a wildcat formation with Jonathan Taylor behind center in a shotgun, snap it directly to him, and they just shut it down. Absolutely shut it down.
So moral of the story is, if you break down in downtown Toledo, just figure a way out of it.
I think you just burn your car at that point. I think that's the modus. I think that's the.
Yeah, but then you're on foot, which is worse.
That's very true. Ooh, good point. Take turns pushing the car.
Stay out of Wood County. Moral of the story is stay out of Wood County. Don't go there.
Whoa. Watch yourself. Wood County is where the Bowling Green State University is.
Is that so? Bowling Green and Perrysburg is in Wood County?
Lucas County.
Sorry, I got them mixed. My geography was incorrect. I had them flip-flopped.
It's okay.
I do like
Perrysburg. You don't know the counties of Ohio.
Yeah, I do like Perrysburg, which I know is very close to Bowling Green.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's a nice city.
My stepbrother-in-law, that's where his family resides. They're good people. And Bruce made it with a comment. This isn't my fault. I think he's referring to the tirade that we just went on geographic. Bruce, it is 100% your fault. I just want to be clear.
Yeah, you started this, and you took two people who love to go on tangents to create a new tangent about nothing sports related.
Yeah, Bruce, I'm trying to keep these guys wrangled in over here, sir.
Sorry.
Good luck.
Actually, I'm not sorry. I like this. This is what I like.
I'm a cowboy. Steel holds our ride. Yeah, that's me. I'm just Bon Jovi tonight, boys. Feeling saucy. All right, college football playoff rankings. I'll run through the top 10 real quick, and then we can start the mayhem. At number 1, undefeated in the SEC, absolutely curb stomping every single team they have played. UGA, the University of Georgia. At number 2, due to the fact that they've clearly sold their soul to the devil, 1 loss, Alabama. At number 3, undefeated, big win in Ann Arbor last week. Go green, go white, Michigan State. At number 4, 1 loss in overtime to Stanford on the road. Big 1 win against the Ohio State University in Columbus, the Oregon Ducks. Number 5, 1 loss, aforementioned the Ohio State University. Number 6, the redheaded stepchild, literally fucking Harry Potter in the goddamn closet under the stairs. So much talent, yet no one loves him, the University of Cincinnati. Number 7.
That was aggressive.
Yeah. Number 7, University of Michigan. Number 8, again, Harry Potter-esque. I'll go Ron Weasley here. Oklahoma at 9-0. Number 9, undefeated in the ACC, which essentially at this point is just a rich man's American Conference, Wake Forest. And then number 10, only loss on the season from the aforementioned University of Cincinnati. I'm using the word aforementioned too much. I've decided that now. Notre Dame, number 10, rounding that out. Where are they right? Where are they wrong? And Bruce with a comment. I just asked if the Sooners were in or not. You're right, Bruce. That's 100% on me. I'm sorry. So, Bobby, me and Todd kind of went on this a little bit during, the World Series. Shout out Atlanta Braves, by the way. Where are you at in these rankings right now? How does it make you feel?
Well, you guys know that my my college football knowledge is not on par with yours. Just to begin. Now, with that being said, um, I think the biggest snub was UC, in my personal opinion. I think they have done enough to deserve a top spot. Now, I think you guys had alluded to it on Tuesday that this is all about the dollar signs. This is all about the Benjis. And that's why the rankings came out the way that they came out. With that being said, I I completely disagree with that thought process in regards to the college football like rankings, because I think they would get a ton of viewership from the city of Cincinnati. City of Cincinnati is extremely loyal. Just to be homer on that. That's really what I've got. I think Ohio State at 6 was fair. They've had some close games. They beat a good team in Penn State over the weekend. Close
at 5, by the way.
Yeah, close game. I don't think Penn State should be 5. I think they're a little high.
Ohio State's 5.
Ohio State's 5. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
UC 6.
Okay. Yeah. Regardless, I think Ohio State's good where they're at. I think UC deserves a shot. You know, who doesn't love to see an underdog get in there? I don't think anybody's beating Georgia. I mean, Georgia just looks too good. I mean, they outside of the first, 12 minutes of the. Well, I guess I would say with the exception of the first 2 minutes left in the second half, Florida stuck with them, and then in less than 2 minutes, Georgia scored 3 touchdowns and went into halftime up 24.
6 minutes of football.
Right. Georgia just looks unbeatable. They're just extremely dominant. So that's what I have.
In my opinion, I think they got Georgia right. I think they're the unanimous number 1 in the AP poll as well for a reason. The issue that I have is with Alabama and with Oregon being there when you have 2 undefeated teams that both have wins in the top 25. That's my main issue. You have 2 undefeated teams that have gone and beaten teams that are ranked in the top 25 right now. Not right now. They were ranked in the top 25 when they played them. UC has a win in a top 25 team, rather a top 10 team in the college football rankings, a top 8 team in the top AP poll. So, in my opinion, Georgia at number 1. I would say in no particular order, 2 through 4 should be Oklahoma, Michigan State, and UC.
Correct.
I would probably put it in that order right now. That just makes the most sense to me. Alabama has a bad loss against an unranked Texas A&M team. Excuse me,
by 19.
I apologize. They are 14th in the college football playoff rankings right now.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, they are a 2-loss school that they have lost to. That means something. Their resume is not as good as Notre Dame, for instance, or as good as maybe it's better than Texas, but nonetheless, which is the team that in the top 25 that Oklahoma beat, which is why I referenced them. So that would be my top 4 currently. After that, I would have 5 Oregon, I would have 6 Ohio State, 7 Michigan. So that would be my top. And then I would probably have Alabama coming in at number 8, honestly, because they took a loss at the beginning of the season. I was like, oh, Alabama, Georgia, that's going to be an amazing undefeated matchup, but they lost. I think Ohio State has improved throughout from their only loss to Oregon. Oregon is a much better loss than Texas A&M, so Ohio State should be above Alabama. Michigan's only loss is to the number 3 team in the country, Michigan State. Michigan should be above Alabama. And who am I missing here? Oregon. Oregon, you could argue that one. You could argue that Alabama should be ranked above Oregon, in my opinion. That would be the only one that I'm accepting. Other than that, everybody else in the top 8 should be above Alabama.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick to my guns that I mentioned on Tuesday. Money makes an impact on the people selecting the college football playoffs. There's a really good article from a senior writer for ESPN specifically about Cincinnati being snubbed from this. And she alluded to that multiple times as well, is that Cincinnati doesn't have the ticket, the high ticket, the hot item. Like Alabama has Bryce Young, who more than likely right now is the Heisman winner, right? He's the projected Heisman winner. Ohio State has C.J. Stroud, really big names. And UC has Desmond Ridder, who is in the Heisman watch, but seventh place on the Heisman watch, right? They don't, and somebody tried to comment on it like, oh, well, they barely beat Navy and they only beat Tulane by 19 or whatever it was. Yeah, who gives a shit? They're undefeated. Yeah, they're also undefeated. And they're winning in their conference like everybody said that they needed to get to the top 10, to get to the top 5, to now be in the top 3. Who's to say?
Quick comment here on this game. You're going to see an absolute stud block downfield by Pascal here. I believe that's is he number 14 or is that Michael Pittman?
Yeah. Pascal 14.
Absolute amazing block. Now they're even showing it right here.
Yeah, he just ran him all the way down the field.
Beautiful, beautiful block. The Colts are running the ball beautifully tonight. Go ahead, Todd. Sorry.
Yeah. So I look, and I'm trying to keep my bias out as being a fan of the city of Cincinnati, but when I'm looking at statistic, win to win, no loss to loss, Cincinnati should be ranked higher than 2 of the 4 teams that are in the college football playoff, and they're not. And even I would argue that Michigan State should be the number 2 team in the college football playoff. They have a top 10 win.
Yeah, they have 2 top 25 wins, one of them on the road.
Yes. So why are they not ranked above Alabama? I want to see. So I think something that the college football playoffs should do when they do this initial release of these rankings is explain them. I want an explanation as to how Alabama lands at 2. Outside of strength of schedule, nobody gives a shit about strength of schedule. Coastal Carolina was ranked in the top 15. They didn't play anybody until they got beat. Nobody gives a shit about that anymore. That doesn't exist in college football.
Yeah.
Give me a reason why Alabama is ranked higher than Michigan State first. That's what I want to know. I was that was my second biggest frustration because I think Michigan State
just the fact that they're in the top 4 in general is bullshit to me.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying if I'm comparing resumes right now, right? If we're doing it we're doing
big
2 blank.
Touchdown alert. Big man touchdown alert. Got to show some love here for the big man. Danny Pinter with a touchdown for the Colts from Carson Wentz. Standing alone, picking his ass in the end zone right now. And Carson Wentz threw a shit pass to him, by the way.
That's why he got down on both knees and just cradled it like a beautiful baby. But yeah, I'm not going to really ramble on much more on it. I just think that the college football playoffs, it's an absolute fucking sham. Make it 8 teams, make it fair, and make it worth my while, rather than just making my blood boil as I continue to read articles. And people, I'm not alone in this and how frustrated I am. There are people who are saying, hey, let's just start roasting and emailing all the people on the college football playoff committee and asking them to explain this ranking.
So,
and I think here's the thing, if I had enough beers in me, I'm cranking out some emails. I'm writing them out.
So I need to follow up with what I said.
A strongly worded letter.
Yeah, strongly. Hey, the one we sent to Mark Zuckerberg worked, apparently. I need to follow this up with a statement. I believe the University of Cincinnati right now should be in the top 4. That being said, let's say I proposed this on the page with a post entitled "A Nightmare Scenario." Let's say Alabama wins out and they face Georgia in the SEC championship game. and Alabama beats Georgia. You would have a one-loss SEC champion, Alabama. Being the SEC champion would almost guarantee them a spot in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Alabama's in. That's one slot. I don't care where they're ranked. That's one of the 4 taken.
Right.
You would then have a one-loss Georgia team whose only loss is to the SEC champion. Georgia gets in. They've been number 1 all year. If they go undefeated, they get to the SEC, and they only lose in the SEC championship game to Alabama. Georgia's getting it.
That's one. That's 1 too, because they don't have them play again in the college football playoff. They would never allow that, right?
Well, more than likely,
right.
That would be the situation.
Yeah.
So again, regardless of where you would rank them, those are the 1, 2. Okay. So we have that established. Let's say Oklahoma wins out. Again, they have a bye week, then they play Baylor, then Iowa State, and then they finish out the year with Oklahoma State, who only has 1 loss. They are currently ranked 11. If Oklahoma runs the table, if they beat out 2 top-ranked teams and then win the Big 12 championship game, which would more than likely be, let me just go ahead and scroll through here, see if I can find a Big 12 team. I want to say it might be Texas. Either way, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, they run the table and win out. Oklahoma gets in. Undefeated Big 12 champ, they get in. There's no question about that. They should get it. That's a great resume. There's 3 slots gone. So then you have a nightmare where you have 3 of the slots taken up. You have a potential Big 10 champion, an ACC champion, and a Pac-12 champion, all in front of the University of Cincinnati. Let's say Wake Forest wins out. You could make an argument that UC has a better resume than Wake Forest. Wake Forest has not played a ranked team yet at all. The only ranked opponent left is NC State, final game of the year, prior to the ACC championship game, which I don't know who they're going to play at. Oregon. I don't believe Oregon really has any tests coming up as well. Let's look at their record real quick, let's look at their schedule real quick as to who they are playing. They're at Washington, Washington State, Utah, Oregon State. The only ranked team that Oregon has played is Ohio State, and they beat them. They beat them handily by 7 points in Columbus. Oregon runs the table. You could argue they should get it.
Thank you. Excuse me.
Then you have the question of Ohio State and Michigan State. If Michigan State goes undefeated and wins the Big Ten, they're in. They are in the playoff.
They have to be.
They should be, and they should be in. So while I want the University of Cincinnati to get in, I don't think they will at this point, based on what we have going on. Now, there can be chaos, right? Oklahoma can drop a game. Oregon can drop a game. State can beat Ohio State, and then Ohio State can lose to Michigan. That could happen, right? We could have a 1-loss team, and then Cincinnati goes undefeated. Those things can still happen to get the University of Cincinnati in. So I don't want to say that the season's over, throw it in, nothing like that. Cincinnati, go out and blow out everyone, win your conference, go undefeated, do the whole thing. But there are a lot of situations where the odds are against them to get
in. The cards are not stacked in their deck.
And it's not a money thing anymore at that point, in my opinion. It's not. It's just a better resume in those situations. The worst thing that could happen is that Alabama would beat Georgia in the SEC championship game. That is the worst thing that could happen, because then you have 2 slots taken up by 1 conference.
Well, that's also the worst. That's the worst thing that could happen to Oklahoma as well.
Oklahoma, Oregon,
or even Ohio State if they don't win out.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so. I don't know. At this point, if there's not enough going on within college football, and I honestly think UC's a year late on being in a Power 5. I think if UC's in the Big 12 and they're making this run, we're not even having this conversation, right? Because now you're in a Power 5 school, you're undefeated, you run the table, you're a top 4 team, right? That's how that works.
Well, but Oklahoma's doing that, and they're not.
Right. I'm saying in theory.
Sure.
That's how that works. But I don't know.
If you got Jonathan Taylor on your fantasy team, boy, go buy a lottery ticket. Homie just busted out an 80-yard touchdown run. Fucking untouched.
Right now, Josh Wheeler is dancing. He's flossing in his living room, just getting after it.
Josh, if you are flossing right now, I need a video of this immediately. I have a confession to make. I flossed for the first time on Saturday. I'm going to throw that out there and let you guys chew on that for a little bit.
How'd it feel?
I didn't know I could floss. I didn't know I had that ability to do. It's a weird dance, but I did it, and it felt nice.
Yeah, I have a lot of young nieces and nephews.
Are you a floss machine? Are you like an oral? I'm going to call you Oral B.
Yeah, look. I can call me Colgate, call me Oral B. I have 2 nephews that play a lot of Fortnite, or did play a lot of Fortnite. So that was a very popular part of Fortnite for a while. And last year on Christmas, they said, Uncle Todd, we're going to teach you how to floss. And by the end of Christmas, you're going to know exactly how to. Damn it, they were right.
Damn it, they nailed it.
You get enough Celsius in me, I'm flossing.
I can't wait to see this.
Yeah.
Josh with a comment saying that he can't floss, but yes, he is in his living room.
Can't or won't?
Yeah, I mean,
2 very different things.
Because it sounds like a won't situation, and not a can't situation.
Joe Dirt quote here: "You can't have no in your heart, Josh. You can't have no in your heart."
I thought maybe you were going to say that's why they named you Joe Dirt instead of Nutmaker.
Oh, I guess that would apply.
No, it's not applicable. I just think that's a good part of it. That's my favorite quote.
Dig it. That would apply.
Yeah,
that one.
That's true.
Sometimes I like to say dear Tay. Don't you have to do it? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We got 6:02 left in the third.
Just love that we can work a Joe Dirt reference into a sports
I
podcast.
try and reference Joe Dirt probably 3 times a month. Whenever my boss sends me something and I just like agree with what he's saying, or like it's a cool thing that I'm sending back, I literally just send him a picture of Joe Dirt doing this. That's my response. Very professional.
I like that the boss to associate answer is always in a meme or a GIF. That's how that works. That's how my boss and I communicate.
He quotes it to me regularly, so that's why I send it to him.
Okay,
that's fair.
Yeah, ours is between my boss and I. It's a lot of office ones. So if there's so if there's like a weird scenario that pops up, there's a really good date mic meme that I can just send to him, and it provides a little comedic relief. And that's how we communicate.
Nice to meet you.
How would you like yours in the morning?
Oh my God. My favorite one is the no! Please God, no!
I like when trade news is happening and you send it, oh my God, it's happening, everybody stay calm.
Yeah.
That's good too, yeah.
Great one. Absolutely.
Yeah. Josh said he can't floss well. How about that? Not my dance move on that run.
What is your dance move, Josh? I want to know that before we're getting.
I could see Josh. Yeah, I project Josh Wheeler being able to perform an above average stanky leg.
Stanky leg. Oh my God, that is amazing. I got him more as a sprinkler.
A sprinkler guy.
Can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
Who knows? He might just
dab.
Dabbing it up? Are you dabbing it up in the living room right now, Josh?
He said the sprinkler.
Josh said the sprinkler. Damn.
Perfect.
I took him as a stanky leg guy. Now I'm a little disappointed. All right. Well, that's the end of the podcast. Fuck you, Corey. See you later.
Oh, wow. Being aggressive.
Woo!
All right.
Sorry.
But no, everybody that is tuned in tonight, we do have our Bobby's getting out of here. We do have the Venmo and PayPal up in the description. We are still raising money for the Covenant House, Michigan. If you feel like you can give $1, $4, $5, $7 million, whatever you feel comfortable with, to help displaced youth in the state of Michigan, it would be greatly appreciated. We are still working to raise funds for that. But yeah, everybody that's tuned in tonight, it was a lot of fun. We got a little silly and wouldn't have it any other way. So Appreciate you guys hanging out with the geography lesson. What else did we rant about? Pretty much just geography.
I mean, Tuesday we talked about, you know, the airport experience. Today we've spoken about geography. I'm not gonna poke an open wound. But
Delta Corey can fly. He's not a risk. Please don't do anything dirty to this man on his flights.
Josh Wheeler came back and said, "I can, however, stanky pretty well." That's on the wedding dance floors.
Oh, shit.
So not 100% wrong, Todd.
All right. Well, now I can sleep a little bit better tonight, knowing that he can. Yeah, I was gonna have to just stew over it for hours on end, but now I'll be able to rest easy.
Jets. Elijah Moore with his second tutty.
Oh,
awesome.
All right, boys.
Well,
we love you guys. Thank you for coming in. If you don't already, like the video. If you're feeling really frisky, go ahead and share this video right now. Do it.
All right, chat. Have a good one, and we will see you on Tuesday.
Love you guys.